Jae-myung leading by a significant margin. The latest Gallup survey places him at 49% favorability, while conservative Kim Moon Soo trails with 35%. Speaking outside the polling station, Liberal candidate Lee Jae-myung urged South Koreans to vote and make a decisive judgment.
자, 이번 내란 사태도 우리 국민들의 투표 참여만으로 비로소 이겨낼 수 있습니다. 특히 우리 청년들과 함께한 취지는 대한민국이 청년의 시대로 다시 되돌아갈 수 있게 해야 되고, 이번 대선이 그 출발점이 됐으면 좋겠다는 소망으로 함께했습니다. 우리 국민들께서 반드시 투표에 참여하셔서 이 잘못된 결과를 빚어낸 내란 세력에 대해서 엄중하게 또 강력하게 심판해 주시기를 바랍니다.
On the last day of campaigning, Liberal candidate Lee Jae-myung bowed to supporters during a crowded rally, urging them to back his vision for change. Let's listen in.
주권자의 최종 무기 투표는 이 내란을 끝내고 빛의 혁명을 완성하는 가장 강력한 무기입니다. 투표는 총알보다 강합니다. 투표로 서로를 돕고 나라를 함께 구해 주시겠습니까?
Kim Moon Soo, the ruling People Power Party candidate in South Korea, held his campaign. He intensified efforts to rally support ahead of the election. Let's listen in.
제가 대통령이 되면 트럼프 대통령을 만나서 이 미국의 관세 자체를 세계 어느 나라보다도 대한민국에 대해서는 관세가 없거나 가장 낮도록 반드시 만들어내겠습니다, 여러분.
Now we have reporter Thomas Porteous. He's a correspondent and anchor joining us live from New Delhi. Thomas, what more can you tell us about this situation in South Korea?
Have now closed for this much anticipated election in South Korea. I just want to give you a little bit of background. This election was triggered by former President Yoon Suk-yeol imposing martial law for a brief 6 hours back on December the 3rd of last year. Then occurred an ongoing trial which ended in April, which ruled that former President Yoon Suk-yeol should indeed be impeached. This then triggered this election. In the midst of all this, South Korea has been in political turmoil, with staunch supporters of Yoon on one side and his opposition on the other, showing a political divide in South Korea. However, today, South Koreans get to choose between the People Power Party, the ruling party, and their candidate of Han Duck-soo, and the Democratic Party with the lead candidate Lee Jae-myung. Now, Lee Jae-myung is leading in these exit polls declared by most South Korean broadcasters. He is advocating for economic revitalization of South Korea, something that it has struggled with in recent times. Also, national unity, which is something that his opponent, Han Duck-soo, is struggling to gain traction with. Something that Han Duck-soo has actually, one of his controversies, he struggled to distance himself from the impeached leader of Yoon Suk-yeol. That's what people are saying. Yoon Suk-yeol is now actually facing criminal proceedings where he's actually facing life in jail. If he is found guilty of these charges he is facing because of his martial law declaration. As you've said previously, it's been a very high turnout for this election. 71% of voters turning out to vote today, some voting early on, including the two main candidates. As we've said, the polls have now closed, and we will bring you all the developments, including the results which are expected in just a few hours' time.
Thank you very much, Thomas Porteous.